The phone vibrated in the dead of night, the screen illuminating Michael's ashen face with an eerie blue light. He sat bolt upright in bed, his heart pounding a frantic tattoo against his ribs. His wife, Sarah, stirred beside him, mumbling in her sleep. But Michael lay frozen, staring at the phone. It was 3:17 a.m. and the message read, "I know what you did." Michael felt a chill crawl up his spine. What did this person know, and how did they know it? He knew he should just ignore it, that it was some cruel joke played by some bored teenager. But the message unnerved him, tapping into a primal fear he couldn't quite place. He decided to call the number back, but it went straight to voicemail. He was a high school history teacher, and the constant stress was starting to show in his classes. He'd often wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, his students' faces swimming before his eyes. He was afraid that if it continued, he might just snap. A raspy voice at the other end said, "Wrong number," before hanging up. Michael stared at the phone, his mind racing. On a whim, he entered the time 3:17 a.m., thinking it would turn up nothing. But then he saw it, a name and a photograph. Who was this person? What did they want? Why were they tormenting him? This time the voice was different, a woman's voice. She said, "You better watch your back." Then the line went dead. He left the station and started the long walk home. He needed a way to trap whoever was sending the messages, to find out once and for all who it was. As he walked, he thought about what the officer had said, "No answer." He peered through the peephole and saw a delivery man holding a package. He looked confused, then he heard a knock at the door. He froze, his blood turning to ice. Was it really them? Had they come for him? He needed evidence, proof that he wasn't just making this up. Her photograph stared back at him, her eyes haunting. He looked back at the phone in his hand, then back at the door, his heart pounding. He opened it. According to the report, she had vanished 3 weeks ago, which was exactly the same time that he'd started receiving the messages. He pretended to be asleep when Sarah asked him about it in the morning. He struggled, but it was too strong, dragging him towards the box. It whispered in a voice that dripped with venom, "You can't hide from me." "You should have known." He said it on the bed, his hands shaking. The next morning, Sarah woke up to an eerie silence. Michael's side of the bed was empty. She called out to him, but there was no answer. He knew he shouldn't open it, but curiosity got the better of him. He simply shook his head, a sad smile playing on his lips. They also found a few strands of hair that didn't belong to him. He was gone. The last text he'd received before his disappearance read, "We're finally together." The police suspected foul play, but without any leads, the case went cold. The creature in the box had left its calling card. He knew he finally had a chance to fight back. He tried to call back, but the number had been disconnected. It was Michael's. The creature had returned to the darkness from which it came, taking Michael's soul with it. The case remains unsolved to this day, a chilling reminder of the horrors that can lurk in the shadows. I don't know what's in it. Looks kind of heavy. You sure you want it?" He paced his house like a caged animal, his mind a maelstrom of fear and confusion. But how could she be connected to him? These kinds of calls had become a nightly occurrence, happening every night at precisely 3:17 a.m. without fail. They'd started 3 weeks ago, the first message reading, "You can't hide from me." He had a bad feeling about this, but something compelled him to take the package. He signed the delivery slip and watched the man leave. How could this man not believe him? These messages were driving him insane. The creature snarled at him, its eyes blazing with hatred. It lunged out, knocking Michael back. As he turned to leave, the officer called after him. Oh, a pair of eyes, green eyes, stared back at him from the box, eyes that glinted with malice and madness. "And Mr. Hayes," he said, "if you do decide to report any suspicious activity, make sure you have concrete evidence." Vague claims about cryptic text messages won't get you very far, but somehow the messages continued, always at 3:17 a.m. It was driving him crazy. He had to do something. So he decided to visit the police station. We don't have the resources to investigate every bizarre claim that comes our way. If these messages are truly upsetting you, then I suggest you seek help from a therapist." The officer on duty listened to his tale, his brow furrowing with each passing moment. Every day he lived in the shadow of the nightly text, wondering who was behind it and why. It was slowly chipping away at his sanity, turning his days into nights. After that, there had been a steady stream of menacing texts, each one more unsettling than the last. But she was starting to get worried, too. She'd suggested he talk to the police, but Michael had been reluctant. What was he supposed to tell them? That every night at 3:17 a.m. he was getting threatening texts from an unknown number? They'd probably just laugh him out of the precinct. Michael had tried everything to stop them. He'd blocked the numbers, changed his SIM card, and even resorted to throwing his phone out the window. He'd never been much of a worrier, but now his life had been reduced to a cycle of dread. Sarah, bless her, had been supportive, trying her best to comfort him and reason with him. And then there was his work. One evening, while researching an old case for a lesson, he stumbled upon a website run by the police that allowed you to search missing persons reports. The missing person was a woman named Emily Carter. He knew he needed answers. He called the number again, hoping this time to get through. It went to voicemail. Michael felt a chill run down his spine. Who was this woman? What did she want? He knew he couldn't keep living like this. "Look, Mr. Hayes," he finally said, "I understand this is all very upsetting, but we have more pressing matters to attend to." Michael felt tears prickling at his eyes, not from pain, but from frustration. Michael nodded numbly, feeling defeated. Then he got an idea. He went into a nearby convenience store and bought a prepaid phone. That night when the phone vibrated at 3:17 a.m., he didn't move. When the phone vibrated again that night, he answered it. Slowly, cautiously, he got out of bed and crept towards the door. "Is this Mr. Michael Hayes?" he asked. Michael hesitated. He didn't order anything. The delivery man smiled awkwardly. "Sorry to bother you, Mr. Hayes," he said, "but this package was left here for you." Michael hesitated. As soon as he was gone, Michael brought the package into his bedroom. As he sliced through the tape, he could hear a noise coming from inside, a faint scratching sound. Then he saw it. He recoiled in horror as a hand shot out, followed by a twisted, malicious grin. He screamed as the creature pounced, its claws digging into his flesh. Then everything went black. She went to the bedroom window and gasped. The window was wide open and a figure was perched on the windowsill. It turned its head and Sarah screamed. In the dead of night, the police had found Michael's phone in the park. The search for Michael began, but it was too late. 3 weeks later, a hiker found a human skull in the woods.